Okay, let's start replay lab and see what happened. Okay, what is the goal? Amazon simple storage service can be used to store any type of data. Great. And retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. Any type of data mean we can store files, objects, and we can retrieve it from anywhere mean uh, because it's a cloud uh, based solution, and if you have permissions and you can have login credentials, then you can access these as well. So let's see how it works. So right now we have created city residence and web portal. So these city residents citizens will be using this web portals to view this uh, object storage in S3. Okay, and this is a policy applied to this objects who can see, who can access, who can modify, whatever. So uh, let's see. Migrate the existing website to static web page hosting on Amazon S3 to improve. It's mean we can host if we have some static contents to be available every time for so that anyone can review and understand what we are offering, like some any hosting websites, hosting contents, we can just host on AWS as well. It's a very good thing. So that let's move what actually practice we can start with. Okay, so second is in Amazon S3, any type of file and any metadata that describes the file is called object. Objects are stored in S3 containers called buckets. So actually S3 have some name and we call it buckets, and we can store any file, any objects. And the solution uses S3 bucket to host a static website as we discussed. In Amazon S3, the static website can sustain any conceivable level of traffic. Okay, you don't care about of how much load, how many users are accessing that your Amazon web S3 bucket at a very modest cost without the need to set up, monitor, scale, or manage any web servers. Okay, so by using S3, these are the features providing AWS, which are cost effective and easy to manage, and rest of the things. Let's see in the practice. Along with the HTML files that supports web page functionalities such as client-side scripts and style sheets are uploaded. It's saying that apart from any animation and any CSS styling, you also need to upload with the same bucket so that can be available when any scripts get executed. When an S3 bucket is configured for website hosting, the bucket is assigned a URL when requests are made to this URL. Definitely, whenever you will deploy your static web page or place your content on S3 bucket, it will create a web URL, and that URL will be available for anybody to have access and can uh, view on the web page. For others to access the S3 bucket or specific object in it, permission must be. It's mean if you want to go inside buckets and access that file, you need to modify the file. You must have credentials and access granted to you. Here is an example, like object is this one, and effect mean allow a bucket policy define who can access the bucket and what type of operation can be performed. Bucket policy is written in JSON format, which is very simple and standard format. JSON is human and computer readable format using to store and retrieve data. JSON is used by many applications and throughout AWS. Very simple and easy to understand. City residents visit the city web portal. This is the URL provided by S3 bucket for beach web information. Actually, residents are interested to view beach web on online instead of visiting the beach and check the waves, which invokes a get request from the portal to URL of the static web page. Initial root object is named index.html. So this index.html must have some CSS, any other GS or any other dependent files as well to make this working. Rename index.html in S3 bucket to wave.html and then update the S3 bucket settings to use the rename root object. Okay. Plan. Rename index. Now our objective is to rename that index.html. Rest of practice will be done, and let's see how we can do this. Start practice. Let's see if we have already provided some files. Uh, there is no files as well, and start. This is a URL. CloudQuest will provision a lab account for you. Okay, and Cloud Compare Essentials. Okay, let's start.